Hey, Unpaid Lunch listeners, you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and ad-free as a Prime member on Amazon Music. Find us on social medias and YouTube at Unpaid Lunch. On your break today, the show turns 40. Well, 40 episodes. It's the show's 40th episode. We're talking about volunteer work, just me and Rhino in the studio, like back in the day. All right, time to clock out for lunch. Welcome into Unpaid Lunch. Thanks for spending your break with us. I'm Heavy D. With me as always, the man, the myth, the legend.
Legend killer.
Oh, no, wait, he's not here. Rhino's here instead.
Legend killer.
Legend killer. Welcome back, Randy.
Oh, God.
Welcome back, Randy. I'm looking for the applause. Keisha's not here.
The greatest weekend for professional wrestling.
We're jumping right into it. We're 30 seconds into the show, and we're already talking about wrestling.
Good.
I promised pre-show. I promised we weren't going to talk about wrestling. we thought we got it out of the way, but there was no chance. If you know us, you know we were pumped about.
We were pumped
hearing voices in our head, and we were pumped too.
we were
and
pumped.
Something nobody else is talking about that I think is getting a lot of hate. And I watched so much YouTube today about wrestling. I watched all the reaction videos today.
Way too much time on it.
Nobody's talking about R-Truth.
No.
And I was like, yo, R-Truth is probably in more wrestling shape than CM Punk or Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah. And he's immediately brought the comic relief.
Randy Orton's fucking jacked. Can we talk about that? He is so huge that he can't wrestle.
He's ate like 6 babies.
He's like Brock Lesnar with a bad back.
And CM Punk just looks old.
He does look
old.
old.
Still CM Punk.
That picture they were using of him, like his face, I was like, that's a terrible picture.
That motherfucker needs to fix his hair.
No, when he came out and did that promo, he had fucking like a cut.
He's always got like a cowlick. And I'm just like, man.
His hair was, I was never a fan of his hair. Even when it was long, that was terrible. This is a segue into our wrestling podcast that we've been talking about doing forever. That's all we want to do is we just want to sit around and talk about wrestling.
Well, big thing I guess we need to get out is welcome back. I mean, we've been out for a week and a half, but holidays, they suck.
Forgot that we didn't tell everybody. Like I meant to. I got really confused on our new shooting, like our new recording schedule, and I got super confused on us releasing on Wednesdays. And I was like, "Well, we'll just record next week." And I know Ryan was probably confused on what I was saying, so he didn't say anything to me about it.
We didn't even talk about it.
We didn't fucking,
it's like the whole weekend came and went. And we're like, well, I guess we're doing this.
Travis Sturgill messaged me and was like, where the fuck's the show? And I was like, dude, my bad. I was like, we didn't record this week. And then I was at my mom's all weekend. So we're actually doing a turnaround like we used to do back in the day. Like it was 3 weeks ago.
I'll tell you what I would have loved to have had if we had that episode. And I mean, I've been posting it all over Facebook and stuff, but come on, guys, y'all gonna have to engage with us a little bit here.
We need messages.
We need some stuff.
I thought for sure I was going to open after that episode. I thought for sure I was going to open Messenger, and I thought there was going to be like 20 people talking to us. I was like, I can see you bitches on the page. Just send me a message. Just be like, hey, I hate my job.
Well, my big thing was like literally we went through retail hell, which is Black Friday. I would love to have had somebody on for that segment just to kind of be able to talk through all that. And I still think it's something we can pursue in the future because there are so many good stories tied into Black Friday. Like I remember so many from, just back when I was at Walmart and and everything else.
Well, I went out. It was my birthday, Black Friday birthday.
I don't ever believe it's your birthday.
Yeah, I fucked with everybody for so long. I used to change my birthday on Facebook all the time. Mm-hmm. That's the only way people know it's your birthday.
I watched a bunch of people send you gift cards on birthday that I knew wasn't yours.
It's like
and then I questioned it, and I was like, now every time your birthday pops up, I'm like, well, congrats on one of your 5 birthdays.
Your message was literally, happy birthday, I fucking guess. I don't know. I don't even think it's your birthday.
Happy baby birthday.
But yeah, me and Clay went out. Me and my son went out, and we were going to try to find some, deals on action figures and stuff, and it was not busy out like it used to be.
Everybody shops online now.
It was not crazy. Target was kind of crazy, but like wrestling figures are buy one get one 50% off. So that was kind of hot.
Was people like driving towards that sale, or were they just kind of
No, we went out at like noon,
and there's still a bunch
and
of shit
and
there?
there was still a bunch of shit. Like there was TVs laying out in the like big
Yeah, no,
the big
everybody does
sales.
it online now.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Online sales are so much more accessible now.
Well, especially because it doesn't make any sense that online sales do Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It was like they did Cyber Monday. I get it from a retail standpoint. People just like to hear Black Friday.
Yeah,
And like,
it's a buzzword.
so let's use some retail knowledge here. Let's share some retail knowledge that we have that I don't know. I mean, a lot of our listeners aren't in retail. There's a ton of other jobs, but when you're in retail, you think the only job is retail.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But sales are not real. I don't know if you know this or not. They are not real. They are a marketing ploy, and it is as close as a scam as legally possible. Those are
Purely designed to drive volume and foot traffic.
Did you see that TikTok where like the girl is like pulling the signs off at Target that say Black Friday sale and like the price is under it? It's like reduced and it's like their normal everyday.
It's the same sale. Same
and
price.
I was like, yeah, sure, but who's the idiot? Right? Like everybody else is like going crazy for towels that are like they're not even a good deal. When I see stuff, it's not even a good deal. And I think my retail knowledge helps me a lot look at stuff and think that's fucking awful. But I love an impulse buy. Like I'm a sucker for end caps, yo.
Well, end caps, any type of impulse buy section, like around the cash register or anything like that's always a big thing. And then we used to have like the big, huge drop shippers that were in the middle of the aisles and stuff at GameStop. So like they're designed to capture your attention as you're walking around through the store.
Red, yellow, blue.
Yeah.
Red, yellow, blue.
Red, yellow,
They're
blue.
always red, yellow, or blue.
Yep. Red, yellow, or blue, and 90% of the time at GameStop, it was always Afterglow or Mad Cats.
Oh, yeah.
The cheapest shit made humanly possible for holiday sales.
I love that how flashy the section at Walmart always is. That's as you've seen on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, that as you see on TV logo, it's red, yellow, and blue.
Oh, yeah.
This big, bright red, yellow, and blue.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason all restaurants have red, yellow, and blue. This is our 40th episode. We got way off track. I know that sounds like I just done an edit, but I promise I jumped straight into it because we're going to get lost in the retail world and our training of how to attract customers to a certain position in your store.
I wish we could train people to attract them to our podcast.
I feel like there's not enough red, yellow, and blue.
I don't think there's enough
logo.
red, yellow, and blue to really get that memo out there.
What's funny is there are a lot of unpaid lunch QR codes on end caps in the dollar store and like.
But most of our logo is green.
It is green.
It's green.
I'm gonna
green.
I'm gonna get Charlie to.
Yeah, we're gonna change that shit.
I'm gonna get Charlie to take it. Charlie, please make our logo look more like McDonald's.
40 episodes in, and I actually finally looked at metrics. I hadn't looked at metrics in a long time. We are well over 8,000 downloads.
That's hot. Yeah, I don't look at them either.
I hadn't looked at it in
Sometimes they depress me,
half.
so I don't listen to them.
8,000 downloads.
I don't log into them. That's really good.
I would love to see
really
us
proud of us.
hit 10,000 before we hit that 1 year mark. I think that'd be big.
What was our first episode? Somebody tell us.
Bad Bosses and
Yeah, I'm thinking when was it? March or April?
I ain't mathing this shit out.
Go back 40 weeks.
Yeah, 40 weeks loosely.
Oh,
We were not
you're
here
right.
yes-
You're right.
we
I'm
were
off
not
it.
here last week, sir.
Can't solve these problems. Solve these problems. We didn't miss. I want to point out that we didn't miss, and I think we might be one of the only. All right, fucking give us some credit because we might be one of the only podcasts in the nation. We didn't miss an episode for 35 weeks.
Yeah.
None. We didn't miss it all. Like there was nothing. And yeah, we're tooting our own horn. All right, but it's hard for me to commit to anything. Okay, so 35 weeks was pretty solid. There's some episodes that people weren't on. I think, did we used to have, how many mics were there? How many people were on the it's always, I was thinking maybe somebody else used to host with us, but I couldn't.
I think we did have another person there.
I couldn't remember how many times. Yeah, that was good though. And this is our 40th week. We were going to try to have Mike on, but he has 100 kids, and one of them was sick, I think.
Everybody's sick right now.
But
I don't know if this is like a continental thing or if this is just our freaking shithole county, but everybody's either got flu A, flu B, COVID, or
The dog's got it now.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Flu,
when you shared that.
yeah, dog Rona.
Dog Rona.
I don't know.
That's
Bark
so
Rona.
bad. Dog Rona.
There's got to be a whole lot of those to set up.
Clay just awkwardly walks into the door frame. I'm going to play by play, Trey.
My son went
Clay gets him a
Bigfoot.
drink.
My son went Bigfoot by the. I don't know where he's going. There ain't
Clay
nothing
walked
over
into
there.
the kitchen. He's kind of slowly sauntering around the middle island. He is really not wanting to back through because he knows that we're kind of contemplating what's going on right now.
Clay's recovering from a recent knee injury in a basketball game.
There he goes. He's walking back, gives us a nod.
He doesn't like the underwear he's wearing. He's changing them.
Yep. Red is his color.
Yeah, we're recording the night before we post, and we haven't done that in a few weeks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's okay. But we're here. We're here for you guys, for the content. 40 weeks. 40 weeks, maybe 41 episodes. I really just don't know at this point. My backup hard drive knows.
It's too much math.
Yeah, I'm off that.
Knee injury. Did he get hurt playing ball?
Yeah, he was having a great game. And he got team they were playing pretty physical, and he got jammed up and pushed down twice the second time he come down with his knee behind him.
Man, injuries abound everywhere right now too. I'm telling you, I'm still blaming everything on the flood. It's the flood's fault.
Everything's flood mud. Everybody's sick from flood mud. So
it's a pretty good segue though. So we're talking about sports and flood work and everything else. Only one type of work gets that done. So today's concept, and I'm going to bring this up. Now, this is going to be a hot take, but I stand by it. The hardest job in the world is volunteer work.
yeah, I don't want to do a job I get paid for.
That's what I'm saying. So immediately the caveats, the things that are that's going to make you be immediately off of it. You're not getting paid.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty demanding hours.
Yep.
Quite a large commitment. There's no HR, which is probably not a bad thing to some. But
yeah, I don't. It's probably decent.
When the drama begins in the volunteer work, there's no reining it in.
Yeah.
None. Especially in youth sports. Jesus.
So
Christ.
volunteer work, like to me, and that's going to mean something different to a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. But like to us, it's sports. We volunteer in sports. We volunteer, we coaching. To us, right? But other people volunteer in their communities, volunteer at schools, volunteer at shelters.
Well, I think we can do it in two segments. So let's start with the first segment, and we'll say volunteer work pertaining to your children, because that's how a lot of us get hoodwinked into it. I won't say hoodwinked. I enjoy it. I enjoy a lot of things that are derived from volunteer work with voluntary coaching, organization of, rec leagues and this, that, and everything else. But God, there's a lot of responsibility that's tied into it.
And like you said, with no HR, nobody to control the shit. Like when drama happens and you got nobody to do it but you.
Well, see, most other jobs is like if you have a weak link, everybody else, will find some way to pick up and make still meet the status quo, meet, your deliverables and things like that. Volunteer work, it just makes you want to choke them. You're not getting compensated for any of this. So it's just.
Yes. When you're at your real job, your reason for not blowing up and leaving is.
You want to keep your job.
You want to keep your job and keep getting paid. Volunteer work makes you question it.
You're like, I'm not getting paid for this. Is it worth it?
These parents are all terrible to me, and I'm coaching their child.
Yep. So even kind of a slight deviation from that, if you find someone who has no children and they're volunteer coaching their time to coach your child's team for youth sports, fucking put them on your shoulder and pack them around like they just fucking won the World
with no
Series.
kids involved. Right.
No kids involved, because these people are fucking saints.
Yeah.
Or they
usually just
or
love,
they're sociopaths. It's one of two.
Usually love the sport.
They love the sport, and like they want to see kids actually develop and things like that. But then also, there's no daddy ball or mommy ball or whatever you want to call it.
God, nothing raised my blood pressure. You're
So there's none
four
of that.
coaches and 4 kids at start.
There's none of that. They're usually, looking at things from a perspective of the betterment of the full betterment of the team. But they're few and far between. I mean, more often than not, when you're doing youth sports, it's somebody's mom, dad, uncle, grandpappy, 3 times removed.
And we coach our kids, so we're not calling ourselves out.
I'm heavily involved in it.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad for my kids sometimes because I try to steer so far away from the daddy ball stigma that if my kid looks at me wrong on the first day of practice, I run him till he pukes.
Benched.
Oh, yeah.
Benched immediately.
Like, and my dad did it to me, and I've spoken about this probably on the previous episode in the past, but I remember one practice where my dad said, hey, go play first base. And I was like, why? Because I'd never played first base. He's like, you questioned me? And he literally made me run until I puked up whole chunks of ravioli that I had just ate before I got up there. And on the way home, I was like, why did you do that to me? He's like, someday you'll understand.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
100%.
You do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would absolutely make sense.
I mean, I'm a devil to my child on a
I feel like
sport field.
I feel like people who volunteer in animal shelters are like that level of like, if you volunteer in an animal shelter, that sucks too. If you're doing actual like work in an animal shelter, and
There's usually a layer of narcissism in those people, though.
well, if you're posting online about it, like it's just all Instagram posts.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
That's
if you're
one
in
of my
it for
biggest
clout,
pet peeves in the world. Is like, oh, look at all the charity work I've done.
yeah,
I'm like, it wasn't really a charity.
it was like social media. The clout gets us there. Like every time I give $5 to Salvation Army, I take a picture of it. I give $5 all the time.
Like, was it for
Salvation
the
Army.
betterment of something, or was it for
See,
a
no.
tax write-off?
I want people to know I do it. I'm in it for clout.
Yeah.
I coached a team before my son was born. I coached a baseball team.
Yeah, that was a train wreck. I was a part of that
God,
experiment.
it was tough, wasn't it?
I was part of that
It
experiment.
was tough, wasn't it? We had 9 friggin' players.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was, what was it? 7U baseball at that time.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do coach pitch. They wanted 6 and 7-year-olds to pitch.
Dude, oh my God, it was so bad.
And they could not pitch.
It was the worst,
So
wasn't it?
you end up having a pitcher come up and walk 15 batters in a row.
Games would take 4 hours.
3 innings.
Yeah,
4 hours.
Yeah, they were like, it's a mercy rule, but it's fine.
Oh, God.
And nobody could pitch. Our best pitcher was a girl, my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
She was our best pitcher.
She was. It was so bad.
And you couldn't pitch barely ever.
Larry was involved with that team.
Yeah,
too,
Larry
if I
was
remember
there.
right. Yeah.
Shout out Larry.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
the whole thing was
we should got
tragic.
him on. He coaches middle school football.
And he actually has no kid involved in it, does he?
No kid involved in middle
Yeah.
school football. No, his girl plays everything else.
See, that'd be an
I'm
interesting
surprised she don't
take.
play. Yeah, and he loves the sport though. That's
Yeah.
like he legitimately like.
Like I said, he's one of the ones you throw up on your shoulder and you pack him around.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it. I think I would. I don't know, man. It's tough because you act like you would, like volunteer. Like we have a soup kitchen. Do we have a soup kitchen? Do you know?
I don't
Is there a
think
soup
so.
kitchen? Feels like
There was a lot of volunteer work during the pandemic.
yeah,
And basically, it was a lot of makeshift pop-up soup kitchens.
yeah, and that's kind of where we were going with it. Was everybody, and that's hard because that doesn't feel like volunteer work, right? Like everybody was digging people out all the time, everywhere, and then, well, like you said, there was a lot of like people grilling on the side of the road and handing food out and all that shit. So
I think
that's
that was different,
that's
especially during the flood.
yeah, that's
There was
what I
a lot
mean.
of people doing some good shit, man. You know what's so funny is like we think about the flood being the one single most catastrophic thing that's happened in this area, this location. Probably, I mean, it was like they call it 100-year flood. But God, how quickly did we get away from doing good things for people?
It's wild. I said at the gas station the other day. The gas station was like crowded the other day, and like people were like arguing and stuff in there, like, and it was just shit at a gas station. And I said, well, we really forgot ourselves, didn't we? Like, remember a couple of years ago when we were all real close and the community came together and everybody loved everybody, and shit changes quick. People forget about everybody and steal again and rob and
Just if you're the slightest bit inconvenienced. It's like I went down the other night, like it was a 24-hour gas station. They were shutting everything down at 12 o'clock, kind of changing drawers and stuff like
Yeah.
that over. And
Shift change.
Yeah, I was the only one in the building, and the guy's like, I'm so sorry. This is going to take like 5 minutes. I'm like, bro, do you? It's fine.
Yeah.
And he looked up at me again, man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you've been jumped over this.
Yeah.
Before. Like, you've had a
People
couple
tripping
new
out.
assholes ripped here. I'm like, done this work. I understand what you're doing. Take your time.
Well, and we got a ton of catching up to do on episodes. I mean, on shit that's happened the last few weeks. But like Black Friday, and I really mean it when I said say something nice to a retail worker or a food service worker. Because Black Friday, if you've never worked it, if you've never done retail, if you've never done food service, and you've never done it on Black Friday, you don't know what it's like. People are mean. People don't care about you. You're the bottom of the totem pole.
It's the epitome of full-on Karen.
It's terrible, man. And that's why like, I am so good to my waiters or waitresses. I'm so good to them. And most of the time, now, you can get shitty service.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if you get shitty service, it has nothing to do with the waiter. Like they're overdone on tables because they're understaffed or the food. Also, the food being late has absolutely fucking nothing to do with them. So... And then retail workers, cashiers don't get a good, nobody says anything to them.
No.
They should get tipped.
Bringing up like tips and stuff. Now, it made me think of something a while back. I don't know if this is good behavior or bad behavior. So I don't know if I saw this on a TV show or if someone told me that they'd done it. I can't remember. But they said that they would basically sit down at a bar and, they'd get like a pitcher of beer or whatnot. Is what they'd order. They have their glass.
I got you.
And they would lay $40 down on the table. And every single time they had to pay, or every single time they had to fill their own glass back up, they would take money off the table.
Yeah.
So I look at that, I'm like, I see good and bad.
As someone who's waited tables, that table is getting the shit end of everything. It's going to be bad because I think it's a very, I don't know, man. It seems rude for sure.
That's what I'm
but
kind of
for
thinking.
lack of a better word, you have to earn this, just straight up.
TV show
Instead of the understanding between the two of you that you have to earn it. You know what I mean? It's the same difference. It seems a little narcissistic, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know what kind of person would do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just being like fucking, here's $10.
I'll just pour my own damn beer.
The problem is tipping, wages go up or prices go up and tipping goes up because prices go up. But then waiters and waitresses don't get paid anymore because minimum wage doesn't raise. And so they don't get paid anything. But then we have to pay more tips because the food costs more.
Mm-hmm. They get the shit in, man.
And fast food, gas station. We're still waiting for our gas station attendant episode. Everybody's afraid to come on. Everybody's afraid to come on the show. No joke. Everybody's afraid Don Childers will fire on me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they're all scared
I've talked
to
to
death.
2 or 3, and they're like, no.
Yeah, fucking will not come on. I got one for sure. Will if we can get him out. If we can get him out of the
I
house.
know. I've talked to one down here in Neon, friend of the family here.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
No, she fucking will not. I've talked to her.
I ain't doing it.
She's the OG too.
She's like, I'm not doing it.
You just gotta hang out there long enough, and somebody will get fired or quit, and they'll come on the podcast.
Probably.
That's what we do because that's a whole different beast too. That's working Black Friday at the gas station. You get to see everybody on their way, and you get to see them on their way back.
It's not just Black Friday. It's having to work Christmas and having to work Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving and all of it. There is no time off in gas station work.
No, you get no breaks.
No.
You get no breaks at all.
No lunch.
Nobody's there to relieve you.
When I worked there, I didn't get a lunch.
No, there's no fucking lunch. What are you kidding? You're working a shift 8 to 4 by yourself. There's no lunch.
Yep, no lunch. Which I mean,
Still, I didn't WD-40 this chair.
Not
It's
WD-40
fucking
that chair. Which I mean, at times GameStop was the same way.
Yeah.
There'd be times where I wouldn't
you're by
have
yourself.
coverage. I wouldn't have the coverage. So
Yeah. Well, they just do whatever now. Like I said, they just close their fucking. They close the gate. They close the gate and do whatever they want.
Well, my wife went in on Black Friday and she's like, "Oh my god, it's so dead." She's like, "It's not even the same place." Like, I barely even knew they were open.
I'm surprised you didn't come across the TikTok where the dude works at GameStop and he was like, "This is what it's like to work at a GameStop." And it's like now this is what it's like to work at a GameStop in 2023.
Nobody there.
There's nobody there.
Yeah,
they have the same shit all the time. There's no stock rotation because they don't run out of anything.
Nope.
I go back to GameStop once every 6 months, and there's the same stuff there all the time.
Well, you don't. Well,
just say it.
So she was looking at a couple of different games and stuff. She's like, the pricing on this is so much cheaper online for Black Friday than when it was in the store. I was like, it's because they didn't do the price changes.
Yeah. Yeah, they just didn't figure out doing them.
She's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I mean, like when they opened their drawer, whenever they logged into the computer that morning, all of a sudden that thing goes bzzz, and all of a sudden it shits out about 400 price changes. They didn't do them. 100% they didn't do them.
Yeah, they just didn't do them.
Or if it's like a display copy where you have the makeshift like labels that you're supposed to print on your own, they didn't change them. They didn't put in the effort to it. So that's why you see a lot of the same shit when you go in there, like the drop shipper stuff, the loot, like the pop figures and all that different shit that's been there for like a year. And you're like, I know this should not still be standard retail price. It's not. It's probably 70% off. But someone's too fucking lazy to go do the damn price.
So does it,
changes.
if you get it and take it up there, will it ring up?
It will ring up cheaper.
It will ring up cheaper.
Even if, like, say if it's a pop figure that's been there for 4 years and it's supposed to be $250, but the price label says $9.99. When they scan it at the register, it will say $250.
I bet that shit happens all the time.
All the time.
I bet everything they scan is like a different price.
Because, I mean, I'm going to be honest, when I worked there was some shit I did not price change. And it was like single packs of cards.
Yeah.
Or like little tiny fucking, like the little itty bitty tiny doodads that is probably your heaviest shrink item anyway. Fuck that. I'm not price changing that.
Yeah, put a sticker on any of them.
I'm not doing it. It's useless. I don't care. But if it's something, I mean, I would make end caps of shit that I knew was on sale because I wanted it out of my store.
Please get this out of here.
Oh, so one of the best feuds that you would ever see is whenever a new, like we carry, you know, a certain stock of new games for X amount of months. And then finally, once you hit this window, we're like, okay, this game's not selling anymore. They would, in the system, flip it and convert it to a pre-owned title.
Makes sense.
So by doing that, sometimes your collector's editions that's been sitting there for a long time get flipped to a pre-owned title.
And then
when they do, what you're supposed to do is either put the pre-owned pricing label on that or pull the game off, go through the display, just put the game out, and then do away with the collector's item material. No one ever done. Nobody threw that shit away.
Sure.
I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. That never
Vault
happened.
Boy didn't hit the garbage.
Fuck no. That never happened. But what you would end up see happening is employees would make away with that loot.
Sure.
100%.
Why not?
Always did. That fucking shit.
I can't help it. Fuck.
So I will never forget. I'd already bought one, but I was eyeballing another. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, I think it was the name of the title. It's the game that's purely built about Raiden.
Yeah.
They had a collector's edition. They had a globe encased around a sword, like in the stone. And it was like one of those electrode lamps, like when you turn it on.
Sword in the stone, shout out Shannon Farrell.
Oh, God, I didn't feel that. But whenever you touch certain parts of the globe, like the electricity would hit your finger. Like those like that
Tesla coil.
Yeah. So
Cat on the table.
And they love me. They know I'm allergic to them.
They love you.
They love me. I'll go get.
He loves you. Oh, he's so mean to him.
Didn't like that. You would know when these titles, they would let you know when they were getting ready to convert to pre-owned.
Yeah.
So you would see all these store managers all of a sudden start calling. It's like, hey, I see you have this collector's edition of this title. I have a customer here right now that wants that. Can you please ship it up here to my store?
Bullshit.
They wasn't getting them out of store 6955.
Yeah.
Nah.
Just fucking, they weren't getting, no, sorry.
I kept that shit.
What'd you say? You don't have enough? You might sell it?
So this one's listed in the
find it.
system as a collector's edition, and I know how much they probably want this, but the reason this one's not sold is it's busted all to pieces and it looks like trash. So I don't really feel confident sending it up there. Like, if you want a copy of the game, I can send it, but like whatever the collectible is inside of it's broken.
GameStop's infamous for like pennying stuff and throwing it in the garbage. Like strategy guides and...
Not my store.
I know that. I'm aware of that shit.
No, sir.
Man, you know what I miss? Fucking lanyards, man. You and Larry used to get me the most badass lanyards.
I used to have a coat hanger of like 6,000 lanyards.
I know. I remember it. Where are they at? You got them in a box somewhere?
They're in my old house.
Oh, we need to go get them.
There's a drawer that's full of them. Like,
What do you mean, old house? The house in Dunham?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going there.
Yeah, I remember like it had like Dishonored still in it. Like, had a limited edition Pikachu one that you could only get at our GameStop conference.
I got that Fallout one with the Nuka-Cola bottle cap on it.
You remember that gigantic freaking shout out Cody Prater, that gigantic freaking
Vault Boy?
I
Yeah,
gave it
man.
to him. I still think I kind of got ripped on that. The only thing I got was a box of Eternal Masters out of it.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he did that.
Yeah.
He did that for a living. He's great at it.
I think I got ripped on that.
He doesn't listen to the show anyway.
I think I got ripped on. I wonder if he still has that. He's probably sold that at this point.
I'm sure he sold that. I think he
Surely.
sold a lot of shit. Don't call me
sure.
Shirley.
Shirley.
Yeah, I
Lord.
think Cody. We should have Cody on. Talk about Hobgoblin. You get him on. I got to show
We're
you these
supposed
pictures.
to be talking about volunteer work, and we completely went back to Black Friday.
This is what we do. this is what we do. Sometimes retail feels like volunteer work.
No, it don't.
I would not volunteer to work retail. That's how we got back there.
Listen, you brought up a good thing a minute ago, though. So like those pennied out strategy guides, you were supposed to rip the cover off of it and then throw it away.
Wild as shit. Why? Like,
I don't know. That's what they wanted you to do.
To
You
be
ripped
an
the cover
asshole.
off of it, then you threw it away. You want to know what's gross is at one point, I'm pretty sure they pennied out copies of Wii Sports.
oh fuck, those are like $40, $50.
I
now.
could be wrong. I remember that definitely we pennied out Link's crossbow training.
You know, we should have had a volunteer on. Somebody who volunteers, but
Fuck that.
we don't have any. I don't know anybody nice who
I
volunteers.
mean, we both volunteer when we're both sitting here talking about
Fuck
how
it.
it's added probably 20 years to our lives.
Oh, it definitely. Oh my god, I had to stop coaching.
Yeah.
Like I had to stop coaching Clay because it was stressing me out beyond belief.
You're
Like,
harder
and I
on your
coached Gabby
kid.
too.
Your expectation level's way too
Yeah, I
high.
feel like I didn't like who I was when I was doing it. The bad part of my dad is who I was.
Well, that's why I loved wrestling. When we got into wrestling, they're like, I was like, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be involved. I get to sit in the bleachers and be dad.
Look at
And
you
then
now.
about fourth meet in, someone calls me and they're like, Josh called me. He's like, come down here on the mat. I was like, I don't know
Fuck.
anything about this. But listen, watching it from the bleachers
Coaching.
is exhilarating.
Oh,
right?
it's so awesome.
It's so good. You don't know what it's like, though, when you're literally down there, like eye level. Like,
I don't think I can handle the pressure. I don't think I could be down there.
It's anxiety building. It's very anxiety
I
inducing.
was watching, and my son's game tonight was close. And so, like, I was super into it because it was close. Usually we're going to meet by 30, and I don't give a fuck, you know. But tonight was close, so I was, like, up, and like, my blood pressure was out the roof. And I was, like, screaming, like, yelling at the refs, like, and I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm louder than everybody else.
Well, your Thurman's offspring.
Yeah, and I feel like if the game was 10 minutes longer, I'd get a technical like on the crowd, especially because it was
A
Jenkins.
Mark
And
Cuban technical.
it was all just a big fight. It was awesome.
What do you want from me?
The cats love you, bro. Look
What?
at him. Look at him. He looks like Garfield, and he's sweet. He wants to love.
He's giving
He
me the
wants to love
stink
on you. He actually wants to eat you. Fun fact: your cats will eat you. He doesn't give a fuck about you trying to blow in his face. No, he's gonna play with that. I would say great show, everybody. Nobody's here. We've not done a show. When was the last time we done a show with just me and you? Like nobody else here. Because usually Monroe or Wes are here, somebody, but it's just my family's here and they're all asleep.
Ice Cab.
Probably.
I think Ice
Yeah.
Cab was the last.
It's kind of the same situation we had to record.
Yeah. I think it was Ice Cab.
I want to shout out the patrons. Patrons. Yeah, but it's Patreon, so it's like
Patreon, but it's your patrons.
I know. It's good. It's just
Is it
an R.
patrons?
I don't know. See, you don't know either.
You got me questioning it now.
You don't know either.
I think it's patrons.
Patrons. We're gonna go with patrons.
Patreons.
Patrons. New patron.
Patron.
Message us and tell us how to fucking say it, please.
I just want to keep butchering it.
New patron. My former boss moved to, I don't know, somewhere in the Midwest. It's one of my favorite regions. It's really cold. It snows all the time. Oklahoma or North Dakota or something. Brandy. And then Cluck Truck, Micah.
The moon.
Sturgill.
Micah, I'm cutting you off.
it.
Micah, when you listen to this, I still stand by the sandwich ideal I sent you the other day, where at first you said it was blasphemy, then you said it kind of looked like it was kicking. Still think that should be a summer special.
I see it every day.
I see some cross-brand promotional work going on.
I need every day. Every day I'm liking a hot chicken post. Like just another day with no hot chicken in my mouth. Another day with no hot chicken in my mouth.
But you can continue.
Chris Hammonds. Check him out on Twitch. Hollywood. Charlie. Poop. That's all I can see. Toe. He's gonna come back on soon and finish the game. We got a bunch more postcards to finish the game. And then Willie Howard, been with us, OG. He's working on a podcast, and so we'll be able to share that in a little bit.
What's he doing?
I don't fucking know. I think in his field, like it's more professional than this.
Sweet.
I think he's gonna do something in that field because I'm also helping my mother's husband, not my father, my mother's husband. Also, who does anybody call him the father-in-law? Isn't that weird? Yeah, but isn't it weird? Like, would it be weird for like a grown-ass man if I called him that? I'm not father-in-law, but stepfather. If I called him my stepdad, wouldn't that be weird as a grown-ass man?
Nah.
It's just odd to me. I think it's weird. Anyway, they're wanting to start a cribbage podcast.
A what?
Cribbage, bro. It's there's a bunch of accountants that play it. So cards and a board.
What the fuck cribbage is.
I'm gonna make you look it up. It's a card game.
We'll check it out.
Great show, everybody. Y'all follow us on everything but X now, just because I don't feel like updating the app.
Nobody wants to deal with that shit.
Nobody wants to deal with that at all. So follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
You don't know if you call it X. You don't know if you call it Twitter.
I think you just call it Xing.
Xing.
It's DX shit.
Yeah.
Facebook, please message us. If you see it, just message us. Send us an emoji or
They don't want to. They're scared.
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 Yeah. You guys got anything else?
You keep saying you guys. It's me, you, and this fucking cat.
Milo is waiting to say something.
The cat's literally like sitting right.
He's on a mic, bro. He's on a mic.
Of this. That way you can put it on the Instagrams.
Milo on the mic.
That sounds like a podcast.
I think Milo on the mic. We just have the cats on the table.
I think this should be the thumbnail for the episode.
Well, I mean, that's absolutely going to be the thumbnail. All right, y'all. Remember that ain't nobody stopping you from quitting your job. But you. It's loud. It's loud.